Welcome back. Now, I don't know why the producer decided to play JAMB question when we were talking about JAMB. But it's okay, it was a good entree into
Very
this.
apt.
Very apt. Okay, so candidates seeking admission to tertiary institutions in Nigeria are likely to warmly welcome the development that the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board has fixed the minimum cutoff mark for 2017.
Ha ha.
At the policy meeting on the 2017-2018 admission exercise in Abuja, the registrar of JAMB, Professor Ishaq Olede, fixed 120 as the minimum cutoff mark for admission into universities in Nigeria, 100 for polytechnics and colleges of education, whilst innovative enterprising institutes have been pegged at 110.
By the way, JAMB said that they didn't fix it.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yes.
That it was stakeholders. Okay, now maybe a quick history about JAMB. JAMB was actually set up on the, how do you say now, on the instance of about 13 vice chancellors some decades ago to streamline the process of admission and eliminate the duplication of entrance examinations to universities. Now so JAMB is supposed to help make it easier to get admission. Right, so is this making it easier? Well, to help us look at all of this and the effect, we have Johnson Abali, an education consultant in the studio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, it's a pleasure.
Yemi Fayemi is also an education consultant. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
We did reach out to JAMB, but couldn't make it for business best note. All right, so let's let's come back here. So, let me start with you, Yemi. 120. You wrote JAMB, right?
Yes, I wrote JAMB.
Okay. At that time, I know there are 4 subjects, or was it 3?
Yeah, 4.
4. So that's 400.
400.
So what was your score?
My score to get an admission, I had 202.
202. What was the cutoff mark?
Cutoff mark was 200. That was the minimum.
Minimum cutoff
yes.
mark. Okay. So what's your take on the new...
All this going on now.
Okay, one of the problems we have in Nigeria sometimes is that when your car dashboard shows the yellow lights, the amber lights, which in Nigeria we start to deal with the amber light, not what caused the amber light. There's no problem with cutoff mark. The issue is not about cutoff mark. The issue is about the people that wrote the exam. 1.7 million people wrote JAMB this year, the highest we have had in history. Why did we have 1.7 million write JAMB? More people are passing WAEC. It's not an irony that more people pass WAEC, more people pass NAPTEP, more people pass NECO, but JAMB cutoff is reducing. So perhaps JAMB is actually the nice guy who is actually conducting the fair exam that shows where we are. What the JAMB score shows this year is that out of the 1.7 million people that wrote the exam, over 1 million did not score 200 in the exam. So less than a quarter of the exam, people scored over 200.
So should you therefore lower your standard? Because people are getting, students are getting less diligent. You should now lower your standard so you can accommodate more undiligent students?
So it's not about lowering of standard. It's about the context you have found yourself. And the fact that as long as don't let's say that JAMB just lowered standard. 65% of people that go to colleges of education in Nigeria go to college of education through what they call the pre-NCE. What does it take to go to do pre-NCE? They go with 3 credits. We have lowered standard of entrance to our institutions by some programs, the pre-degree and the diploma programs, where people are allowed to start a program along the line, allowed to write JAMB or GCE to make up. So the point I'm trying to make is a contextual issue that we need to respond to. Now, is this the right response to it? It is not the right response, but it is the rational response. Let me give you data from last year.
Whoa.
Over 100,000 students that wrote JAMB selected University of Ilorin as their university of choice.
First choice.
That was the most selected university. The bottom 10 universities that people applied for, all the bottom 10 did not have 100 people apply for them. Last year, there was a university that 4 people applied for. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what has happened then is that when you go to those meetings, and that's why you're surprised that the vice chancellor that are saying that, they dissociate with this are those first generation vice chancellors. They're the ones that we have 70,000 people applying for 45,000 people. There's a private university you have licensed that had only 4 people apply to it. And that university cannot be sustained with 4 people. So you see that there is a sense in which those people will likely make a demand for a lowering of the marks. As you can see, among all the news around, the only people who have said anything against the marks are the people in public university. The only private university proprietor is the Favour owner. Okay. Interestingly, the private university that has the greatest number of people applying is Favour University.
Okay, I was going to say we'll take a short break, but let me bring in Mr. Bali before we do that short break. Mr. Bali, what's your take on this?
Well, my take is slightly different.
Okay.